What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. A Super Showdown is just days away and things are heating up in the WWE. Join us now as Wrestlelamia analyzes Raw and looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a top star being removed from Super Showdown, the referee behind the quick count last night, Edge return announced, and a former WWE champion and Hall of Famer BLASTS Vince McMahon. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. As always, we won't waste your time recapping the matches, but we will take a look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from last night's show. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, an excellent opener. The WWE has seen how Randy Orton has helped Raw get off to a strong start, largely due to a white-hot angle between Orton and Edge and the fans' fascination with how things are going. Canadian audiences are always vocal, and the Winnipeg crowd was no exception, with the fans getting into Orton's half-hearted apology that was interrupted when Kevin Owens came out seeking justice for Edge. Owens' promo was heartfelt, and the fans ate up every second of it, as Owens recalled his excitement at the chance to wrestle Edge, only for Orton to destroy Edge's comeback. The only problem with the promo was that it was 16 plus minutes, one that was far too long. If it wasn't for that, it would have been an exceptional promo. Number 2, the WWE stumbles into something good. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, something the WWE has managed to pull off again thanks to the unlikely pairing of Zelina Vega and Angel Garza. With Andrade sitting out his suspension, Angel Garza seamlessly stepped in, developing a quick on-screen chemistry with Vega and taking advantage of this opportunity. As we've said before, Vega is a great example of how managers can add to a match, and with Garza, there's an undeniable romance budding between him and Vega, which should make for a good face turn either by Andrade or Garza. Garza and Carrillo are great in the ring, and the fans seem to enjoy the matches, showing that Paul Heyman was right in putting on strong undercard matches to prepare the fans for the main event. Number 3, solid pacing. Last night, WWE did a great job keeping things moving, other than the opening promo that went a bit too long, melding from one segment to another. They deserve credit for using the picture-in-a-picture to motivate fans to watch Raw during the commercial break, which is a hell of a lot better than stopping matches during commercial breaks. Remember that Vinnie Mac disaster from last year? Number 4, solid storytelling. What was particularly good last night was how each segment told a story. Whether it was Garza's budding romance with Vega, Ricochet's win over Luke Gallows firing up the OC, in turn leading to their beatdown on Aleister Black, as the show felt it was a carefully crafted chain of events rather than the traditional throw it against the wall and see what sticks approach. Number 5, inspired announcing. A few fans would argue that there's been a revolving door for Raw's announce booth, but if last night's show is any sign of the future, Raw has finally found the right announce team. Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton and Jerry the King Lawler are a good team, but most of all Tom Phillips adds a lot to the commentary. Lawler was good on color commentary and Saxton rounded things out. Number 6, the power of the promo. At times promos seem like a lost art in the WWE, but as seen last night, it's just a question of putting the right people in the right place at the right time. Whether it was Drew McIntyre's interview with Charlie Caruso, which gave his WWE Championship match a big sports feel, Aleister Black's post-match interview where he promised revenge on AJ Styles, or the other interviews and promos peppered throughout the show, the WWE excelled for the most part at something they're notorious for screwing up. Keeping the promos to a reasonable time limit made them engaging and useful, just the right combination. Number 6, a magnificent main event. Last night's main event between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton was the proverbial breath of fresh air after weeks of Kevin Owens vs Seth Rollins. Although the Monday Night Messiah was a part of the main event, the focus was on Owens looking for revenge against Orton. Best of all, Owens lost the match without looking like Orton's crash test dummy, and the controversial finish of a referee being a Seth Rollins disciple was a nice twist and a good way to continue the KO vs Rollins program. And lastly, a hot crowd. Anyone who's been to a live event with a hot crowd knows it adds something to the experience. An enthusiastic crowd can even add to the excitement for viewers at home, as seen last night thanks to the hot Winnipeg crowd. Unlike some arenas, the fans didn't hijack the show, but they didn't sit on their hands either. The ultimate entertainment is in the ring, but last night's show proved what happens when you get the crowd fired up. About the bad is number 1, a missed opportunity part 2. The WWE dropped the ball with Rowan's push last week when they had him lose clean to Aleister Black. The WWE had a chance to redeem Rowan after the OC softened Aleister Black, but they chose to have Black get a second win over Rowan, effectively killing any chance of a feud between them and killing the months they've spent wasting Raw airtime with Rowan's weekly squash matches. Rowan showed promise on SmackDown and he could have engaged in a hot feud with Aleister Black. Instead, he's damaged goods with no one to fight. Again, oddly enough, no downright ugly. Last night's Raw was a solid show with a good mix of wrestling, storyline segments, and a bit of comedy. Yes, R-Truth is still the funniest superstar in the WWE today. Yes, the talk segments with Orton and KO as well as Paul Heyman's later promo went on a bit long, but there were still good ways to forward storylines. The women's contract signing was predictable, but still exciting as Becky Lynch got just enough revenge to whet the fans' appetites. The main event topped off a solid night on Raw, making this one of the best and, dare we say it, the most fun show in a long time. What did you guys think of Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. But that was the good, the bad and the downright ugly. Let's move over to the news as our first story looks at a top star being removed from Super Showdown. The Bulgarian brute Rusev was set to be in the two-weight trophy match, battling it out with AJ Styles, Andrade, Bobby Lashley and R-Truth, but he has been removed from the match and replaced by Rey Mysterio. Now, one rumor that was going around is that Rusev simply didn't want to travel to the kingdom and joined allegiance with stars like Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn, who have shown they don't want to be part of such an event. But in fact, the real reason behind his replacement is that Rusev has still not secured a contract with WWE. PW Insider reports that the issue is that Rusev has yet to lock in a new contract with WWE, and that the decision was therefore made to not have Rusev compete at the show. Has that led to big plans being changed? Probably not, since Rusev wasn't even rumored to win the trophy, but this is nothing new from WWE as they normally use these kind of tactics when it comes to wrestlers having to renew their contracts. But hopefully WWE and Rusev come to an agreeable deal. Would you want Rusev to stay in the WWE, or do you want him to go over to AEW or another promotion? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, the referee behind the quick count. The Raw main event ended with the Viper defeating Owens thanks to a fast count by the referee, who turned out to be one of the disciples following the Messiah Seth Rollins. Raw ended with Owen putting him through a table, but just who was he? According to Wrestling Inc., the referee was Jake Clemens, who does referee work for Evolve Smash Wrestling and Absolute Intense Wrestling. There's no word on whether he'll be appearing next week. Next up, Big Show's advice for today's superstars. A future WWE Hall of Famer The Big Show gave some advice for stars today during an appearance on Steve Austin's Broken Skull sessions. As far as shows concerned, today's locker room is just too nice. It's too nice, too friendly, people are too comfortable and too happy to be working there. Vince will tell you himself, if you don't step on toes, you're never gonna make it in this business. I wanna see some toe stepping. I'm not saying be a dick in the locker room. Big Show told a Texas Rattlesnake he likes what he sees in Drew McIntyre. Many fans do too and are hoping the Scottish psychopath defeats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to become WWE Champion. Next up, has Edge's return been announced? When arenas promote shows, they sometimes hint or downright give away returns and title changes. The former could be the case as eWrestling News is reporting that the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., Edge will be returning on the March 9th episode of Raw. The WWE has been doing a good job building up the Edge-Orton storyline, whether it's other wrestlers such as Matt Hardy and Kevin Owens rallying to Edge's cause, or speculation about whether the R-rated superstar will ever return. Next up, a former WWE Champion and Hall of Famer blasts Vince McMahon. A superstar Billy Graham usually has something to say about wrestling, particularly when it comes to Vince McMahon. After hearing Vicky Guerrero's claim that the WWE barred superstars from appearing on a podcast when the promotion learned she appeared on AEW Dark, Graham blasted Vince, saying, "This scumbag bastard Vince McMahon has blocked Vicky Guerrero from using any of his so-called superstars on her podcast because she went on an AEW Chris Jericho cruise ship tour. This man has to be the single most evil human being walking the face of the earth. To deny a woman's rights to make a living when her husband gave his life for this unworthy pile of dung, what a two-faced selfish bastard that will burn in hell." Now, if we didn't know better, we'd say there might be some bad blood between Graham and McMahon. But all kidding aside, it does seem a little unfair. But sometimes that's a price you make for defecting over to another promotion. Well, that's in Vince McMahon's eyes. And finally, why Cathy Kelley left NXT. NXT fans are still shocked at Cathy Kelley's departure from the black and gold brand, but she made it clear why she left. Cathy recently appeared on Maria Menounos' YouTube channel and explained, "I just knew that it was the right time and really feeling that I had planted a lot of seeds. There are so many things that I want to do in my life. I think especially with the WWE schedule, it's so time consuming because you're traveling so much. Being me, I wanted to do everything." Kelley discussed wanting to act, write a book, and become an executive producer, something that would naturally be problematic with a full-time WWE schedule. But there you have it guys, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the 24th February edition of Raw, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.